project cost for the client?
That scope, you mean?
What are the electrical upgrades that are related to that?
So we have a hold number in there, and we hold our best guess until the utility company gets back to us. It doesn't usually take 2 years for the utility company to get back to us, and usually that $50,000 number is in the ballpark.
And was that in the contingency, or was that in the project cost?
As Chris mentioned, it was in the soft cost. So we have a whole soft cost list of about 50 things, and that 50,000 was in that as an estimated soft cost for electric reconnect.
We also, just as an example, sanitary sewer number, because of some issues you ran in ACES, we doubled what that number was. But that worked out well because we were able to transfer some of our sewer numbers from the middle school to the high school. So we padded that number knowing that there was going to be issues. That worked out. This other one went the wrong way.
I think one of the things that we could potentially do, if the board wished, recourse for Med-Ed or public utilities. I had contacted the PUC, Public Utility Commission. Though that is a commission that works for the consumer for public utilities. So if there's an issue or concern, there could be something that the board could provide or submit to PUC in relation to any costs or anything that we believe Med-Ed might have done errantly or unknowingly or not given us enough time in advance to prepare fully for it. So that's just one option. If the board would wish to do that, that could be a PUC complaint. I will tell you they are very responsive to you when you contact the PUC. Both Med-Ed and the PUC.
Any other questions for Chris or Bill?
I will just make a comment. Considering we just had approved $250,000 for their costs, the substation that supplies power to here blew up. And that is kind of ironic because they had an old Alice Chalmers transformer there. And that's not even in existence at 72. So when you talk about upgrading a facility like that, they're already moving equipment in and upgrading. Plus they're going to move power from that substation all the way over to here, the big lines, to help alleviate for future power outages. So there's costs incurred, I'm sure, between there and over here, Christ Church, I believe it is. They're moving power over there and setting another substation over here. They want to be able to alleviate power outages so the schools suffer the same thing we just paid for. So inevitably, Med-Ed's, they do what they do, but their equipment is pretty old. And, you know, they're, we're paying for it, yeah, obviously.
So anything else on the electrical stuff before we switch gears here? I want to ask about the Gold Gym.
Mm-hmm.
We had a change order to repaint that. And in all of the renderings I ever saw, it was a nice, beautiful painted gold gym. So how did we miss that between the design and the actual putting the project on?
It's a great question, and because in that old gym, you know, we sanded the floor, bleachers in. We actually had it in for painting of the roof deck and the new partitions that were in there. The existing partitions, we did not. It's an omission. We missed having them paint that old gym. Don't know how it happened. We know the intent was it supposed to be painted, but we did not have that covered on our drawings.
Do you all carry your emission insurance?
Yes.
So would that be something that could be covered under instead of taxpayers paying?
So for errors and emissions insurance, the insurance falls under standard of care. What's standard of care for errors and emissions on a project this size? And errors and emissions are comparable for a project of this size, 3 to 5%. Right now, our errors and emissions are about 0.5%. So we're outperforming the industry pretty far. So I don't think the insurance company's coming through on that.
Okay. I guess we can talk about that. every dollar makes is a big deal to us.
These are big, complicated projects, and big numbers that are coming through sometimes, I understand.
Any other questions? These guys don't monitor the work of contractors.
Bill helps, yeah, Bill helps meets their construction meetings and helps coordinate and make sure that the quality of work is
And that's
appropriate.
electrical.
That's electrical. Chris hires somebody to do that. We have someone that works with us for our LPS.
The one other question I'll ask, and Gil, you might be back on the hot seat for this one as well. Are there any other change orders that are currently out there floating that could come up for vote after the work's already been done?
I'd have to look, but I have to say, yes, there are some still out that aren't.
I know Victor and Drew are working on them daily, so I don't know what has been processed or hasn't been processed yet.
And that the work has already been done?
Oh, the work that's already been done? I
And they haven't been
I can't
approved.
answer that.
They haven't been approved by the superintendent or by the board with board
Not that I know
approvals
of.
necessary?
I think these
I
are.
don't think there's any out there that, for work that's already been done.
And we had a couple,
I think
we've had a couple
went
orders
through
last
that.
month. You probably know that that was a hot topic. And we want to make sure that we're being diligent and getting the proper approvals in place before work's being done so that the board
Understand.
and administration has the opportunity to decide on what it needs to be done and not. Any other questions or comments? Gil, Bill, and Chris, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time this evening and attending the meeting.
Appreciate it.
All right, Dr. Fiaski.
So, about 14 days and not much since the last board meeting. Teachers are getting into working with their case loads, but a lot's going on with our autism class and our emotional support classes across the district. The TAN is coming down this Thursday. Their consultation team will be down doing observations and talking to teachers, talking to students, seeing how the classes are running, and then they will be following up again. So we pretty much see them monthly, a couple times throughout the school year, and our teachers are going to continue to go to their professional development in building strategies, and our behavior specialists, they work with them in developing good functional behavioral assessments and positive behavior support plans. So a lot of people involved in this process with autism and also emotional support. So probably in October, I'll probably have a little bit more to say, since we'll be a good month into the school year. That's all.
Any questions for Dr. Fiaski?
You said we have 8 in the autism class?
Yes.
And do we need more, or is that all we had?
Well, 8 is what we filled it with,
Right.
8 little town
So
students.
did we need more, or?
We don't need more.
No, I'm saying 8 was.
Yeah, eight's-
We filled it
eight's
and there
the
wasn't
cutoff.
anybody that got cut off,
Nope,
that said we
nope.
can't take you. Okay, good.
So it's just when the next one comes.
We were expecting 5.
We were expecting 5 and we have 8.
We have 8. So, all right, any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Fiaski. Dr. Naylor?
Yes. Part of opening school, the first 2 in-service days, John and I did a walk of the district, an assessment of the district from a security standpoint. So we utilized this Pennsylvania State Police Risk Assessment that was done in 2019 as a starting point, as a reference. So we're looking at the campus from the perimeter in for things that may need addressed from a physical safety standpoint. So we're looking at signage, parking, lighting, things like that, and then into the building area with regards to exterior doors and things related to best practices with exterior doors, with regards to hardware and things of that nature, and then as well then inside blind spots, for example, with cameras and things of that nature that we might need to take a look at. So a review of all the facilities, and then obviously provide that information and report to the building administration as well, so that they're aware of how well we're doing from a physical security standpoint, but as well some things maybe that we found that might need to be addressed as we progress forward.
One of the other items that's on the agenda as well, related to event security, John and I have been working with Jeff since Jeff's come on board from an event staff and security standpoint. In the late spring, our private provider decided not to offer event security to us. So we are utilizing the budgeted money in the athletic department for those event security positions to train and hire our own people to help and support safety at some of those high-profile events. So those are events like football games, indoor games and events that we're expecting a large crowd for, so forth and so on. Events that have happened in the past that we had budgeted monies for, very similar to this upcoming year. That same amount of money will be utilized in a different way as to our own staff helping to support our school community. Knowing our students as well, I think helps in lending to that security as well, as opposed to somebody coming from outside to stand and monitor and not know really our school community is not as beneficial as having our own staff as part of that process. Just today, John participated in an FBI training responding and investigating hoax, bomb threats, as well as swatting training. So continuing to hear current information as how to establish protocols and respond in situations as such. From a technology standpoint, just like Carolyn said, we're 14 days in, but those are a big 14 days in getting everything up and running for your staff and students from a technology standpoint, and providing the support to our staff through teacher and classroom equipment. Both or all three buildings did some online testing already, and also working with the building admin to develop a professional development schedule to support teachers in developing and supporting their growth in the use of technology is also an area that I'm working with our admin to provide for our teaching staff. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
One quick one, Phil Perez. Question on the event security. Are you working closely with the local police department and the state police, training your folks to be in contact with them?
Yes, working closely with the Littlestown Police Department and John as well in providing the best services and educational training that we can, and coordinating as well, and having our local police department at our events as much as possible is something that we also try to support and foster, and I think that's something that you're seeing if you are at those events, that John is doing an excellent job in building those relationships in a positive manner.
Any other questions for Dr. Newman? Okay, on to Dr. Berryman.
Good evening. We too had a good start to the school year, so I've been able to get out and see most of our new teachers already, so they've been a great addition. I start my building walkthroughs tomorrow at ACES. Next week I'll be at the high school, and then the weekend after that I will be going over to NAMS to start doing walkthroughs with the principals and senior teachers. Something I want to highlight is a recent report that came out. So the Littlestown High School, every year U.S. News and World Report comes out with a ranking of top high schools in the nation. So Littlestown ranked 1,918 out of 17,901 in the annual report that they do. Schools are ranked on their performance on state-required tests, graduation, how well they prepare students for college. The highest ranked U.S. public schools in the U.S. News and World Report rankings are those with students who demonstrated outstanding outcomes above expectations in math, reading, and science state assessments, earned qualifying scores on an array of college-level exams, and graduated in high proportions, so our graduation rate. Littlestown High School is the top ranked school in Adams County and the third ranked school in Adams County only following York Suburban and Susquehanna High Schools. In the state, we ranked, our Littlestown High School ranked 22, which is in the top 3.3% roughly on state assessment proficiency, and 38th in the state, which is about 5.7% on state assessment overall performance. So doing really well at the high school, working with everything that ACES and MAMS does to help us get kids prepared for college and career, and then following some of the things that also go into this is like college readiness, career readiness, some of those benchmarks. Like 44% of our kids are taking AP tests or taking an AP course and exam at the high school. The passing rate on AP exams, graduation rates, those kind of things. So they have a matrix, an algorithm. They plug all of that in, and they produce this report every year, late to mid-August, somewhere in there.
Isn't 44% very, very high for AP classes?
Yes, it is very high. Yes, and especially in a district our size. Yes. And that is my report.
Any questions for Dr. Merriman? Hearing none, thank you. Mr. Schobaker.
All right, so we're going to jump into just operations first, and then we'll come back to finance. So operations, transportation, the board approved to scrap an auction. The scrap vehicles have left our facility, and the auction has just started. The buses were eligible Friday, the vans were eligible Friday, and buses started going on today. So we have that auction for about a month, and then I can update the board on how that auction went at the conclusion of September, so at the October meeting. Another update would be HR related or personnel related on the board agendas. Just updating the board that we will no longer be seeing pending clearances. Those will be vetted before the board meetings, or they will be on the subsequent board meeting. We will no longer be holding for pending clearances on those personnel. And then finances, we just started and reached out to the auditors. We're starting the communication process. We're looking to hold that. We'll have them on site at the end of September to have the bulk of the work done through late September, early October. And then that's update for finance. And just a reminder, we had the break for FBS, and that's back on for October 7th.
We're all looking forward to it.
That concludes my
And
report.
question. Tom, are you hearing anything from the state?
Not a peep. We've gotten 0 updates for a month, so that's not usually typical. We usually hear some mumblings for a while and know what the outcome may or may not be, but this is an exception.
Call your legislators and get them to pass us a budget. Any other questions for Mr. Schroeder? All right, we are excited to have our very first report from Mr. Jeff Alasakis, our brand new athletic director.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Mitchell. I'm pleased to share that our athletic programs are off to a great start this year. We've already experienced some exciting overtime victories, and our student body and community, as well as some heartbreaking losses. And we had a tough one the other night that have revealed, though, the grit and resilience of our student athletes. Together, these early contests have set a strong tone of competition, teamwork, and school pride. One highlight worth mentioning is the recognition of Peyton Mathers, a member of our boys soccer team. Peyton was nominated for the YIAA Player of the Week after scoring an overtime game-winning goal. His nomination is testament not only to his talent, but also his hard work and perseverance on the soccer field. While he did not finish first, he finished with over 8,000 votes, which is an incredible show of support for our community and a reflection of the pride and district has on our student athletes. When I talked to Peyton, I said, how did the first place person come in? And I think it was like, I want to say he said like 20-some thousand or so. He was up there, but the other person really, and I'm not sure where the other student came from and how that went, but we're very proud of Peyton and everything he's done for us. Over the past several weeks, I've also focused on building and strengthening relationships with our student athletes, our coaches, our staff members, and our community stakeholders. These connections have been instrumental in creating a foundation of trust, collaboration, and shared commitment to the success of our programs. Much of my time has been spent listening and learning, gathering feedback from those same groups, our students, our parents, our coaches, and our community members. These conversations have provided me with valuable insights in both to the strengths of our program and areas where we can make some improvements. I'm proud to report that we've already enhanced several items. These include the addition of flashing red signals and a directional traffic wand at the away side crosswalk for football games. I don't know if you've ever crossed there, but it gets pretty busy there, so we put in some red flashing lights in the tops of the cones for safety for our students and our community members that are attending. And we got one of those sort of like air traffic controller ones that Beth is very proud to use as she directs traffic over there. Let's see here. We resolved some of the quirks in the Memorial Stadium scoreboard. Some things were going on with that scoreboard. We got that fixed up with help from our maintenance group. Boy, that is a fantastic group, working with Lee and working with Victor and that whole team. They've been instrumental in helping me learn how some of the inner workings and behind the scenes things happen. But we got that all fixed up. And we're also making scheduling adjustments to improve the overall experience for our players. So we've modified some schedules here and there to again and heighten that experience for both them and for our community, and our parents. In short, our start has been both productive and encouraging. The commitment from our students, the support from our staff, and the engagement of our community stakeholders make me confident that we continue to enhance a program that reflects the values and standards of our district. Thank you for your continued support of our athletic programs, and I look forward to updating you as we move forward.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
I have a comment though. I saw the article on you with the York Dispatch.
Yes.
And I saw it online, and I have to say, hundreds of comments from people who absolutely love and support you. You must know a lot of people because you seem to be very well loved. And they all wished you well, and they thought you'd do great in that role. So I thought that was terrific to see.
Thank you very much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for jumping in and hitting the ground running so quick.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alston. We appreciate your updates. All right, moving on to the review of the September 15th regular meeting agenda. Are there any questions on the minutes?
I do. Gary, coming at you. 8/18/2025, go down to H4, capital project checks. And it wasn't unanimous, I opposed it.
Anything else?
That's it. Thanks.
Finance, property, and policy.
Okay, so we have donations, Rocker Ministries, and a Celtron telescope. Are there any questions, thoughts, or anything about those two?
These are very nice donations, and we'll be sure to thank them next week.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And we're gonna be talking about the HB, the Declare Plan Maintenance Agreement. Are there any questions on the maintenance agreement?
I have a couple questions on that. Dr. Mitchell, is all of our maintenance and custodial outsourced?
No, not all.
Not all? Okay.
Any other questions?
And this is for,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, Steve. And this was for an additional to our regular staff, or?
This is done every year for our HVAC, plumbing, mechanical, different
Oh, okay.
things that we don't have the means to be able to pay experts for, and we contract with HB McClure to be able to provide that for the district in a specific area. So we've used them in the past, and they've performed well for us, and they come in reasonably priced, so we continue to work with them.
Okay,
They're pretty close to the cost from last year.
I believe so. I believe it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty comparable.
Yep.
any other questions or thoughts? Okay, and then we're gonna go to the 2025, 2026 annual investment plan. Any questions on that? Okay. And then triple threat cleaning, commercial cleaning service.
Yeah, I had a question on that. It looked like this was just for the stadium and the maintenance building, so I'm just trying to get clarification on why we need this. Like, who's cleaning it now, and are they not doing it anymore? Do we need extra cleaning on it? Is it just a one-time thing? Is it gonna be monthly?
I think Tom can answer.
Yeah, so currently with our outsourced company, Interstate, they have been short-staffed for a long period of time, and those two facilities are part-time, and they're the hardest to fill. This would be a supplemental to that, since it's been unfilled for a long period of time. It would be 2 days a week,
I saw that.
4 hours, and these would be, I think it's a 6-month trial to see if they can fill those, and subsequent that, because we have been a Laxa service from Interstate, so this would be a supplement. to
So
what
we're not using Interstate anymore? This is in place of that?
We're using Interstate, but they have no means to fill it. This would be an additional company that says they can. This would be a trial run, potential to expand in the future. It's more or less, we had the budget money for Interstate. They have been unable to accommodate those cleaning services, so we had to look elsewhere, and this is that subsequent.
Okay, so this is in the budget already?
No, they bill us per hour served, so, yeah.
So
Okay.
this is, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get clarification. So this would be something that we might eventually, if they're do well, use triple threat instead of the Interstate?
I would say Interstate, just like a prior company, had trouble filling positions,
Right.
and they had a one year-to-year contract, and just like any year, we'll relook at available companies, but this is a company that looked like they were accommodating.
So right now it's supplemental, but we could possibly go that route? Okay.
All right, any other thoughts on that? I want to circle back to basis books for disposal. Any comments or questions on that? All right. Move down to payment of invoices on general fund checks.
I would like to make a comment. Dr. Mitchell, I would like to shoot you an email shortly after this meeting, if not tomorrow morning, to meet with you to go over the Saxton Stump attorney fees of $2,476.25. I'm assuming since I typed that in on Control F, it only came up one. So that looks like that's the one we're dealing with. I'd like to see those invoices.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Mr. Sullivan, you're free to email him at any time if you'd like to see that. And you don't have to wait till a board meeting. So you can email him and he'll get that to you after right away.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
See, we're still holding for questions on payment of invoices and treasurers.
Right, I mean, just if there's any thoughts on, F 2 through 7?
And Tom, on the capital projects checks, that's the perma mulch and all, that was approved.
Right, yes. And we'll have another upcoming round of approvals that they generally happen during the summer months when students are here.
Okay, if there's no other thoughts, then we'll just move to treasurer's report.
All right, under personnel,
Well, hold on a second, before we move on, I'm sorry, on the treasurer's report, I wanted to ask the general fund budget year-to-date. I happened to see that figure sitting over there under finance. Tim, if you could explain that. So it was $4 million last year, it's saying $10 million this year. Did you see that under budget? General fund budget year-to-date?
That's just